Hey everybody, Patty Ann here. Today I've got a project that I wanted to work on because I'm going to be taking a flight pretty soon to go see my grandbabies, I hope. And I like to have a little bag that I can use to carry my, well, I don't need a passport this time, but to carry my license or my identification, my phone, and additionally my airline tickets if I have them, if I don't have them on my phone, and anything else that I might need. I like to carry that along with me on just a little strapped on thing so I don't have to worry about fumbling through my whole purse to find it. So follow me down here and I'm going to show you what I'm working on. Okay, this is just a little bag that I got from Hobby Lobby, and it only costs $1.29. I think it's perfect. It's going to fit my phone in there easily. It has across the body um, strap. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure it to see how much room I have to work with. So I have my measuring tape here, and I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. So I'm thinking I would like my image to be, well, let's do the width first. The width will be about, it can be up to 5 inches. Maybe 4.5 would be better. Let's say 4.5 to 5 inches wide. And for the height, let's say about 5 inches high. Okay, now we're going to remember that because we're going to use that information in a little bit, because I've already taken a picture of this and put it into my Silhouette software. So let's look up there now. Okay, here we are in the Silhouette software. This is the picture of the little bag that I took, and I'll show you how I'm going to use that. This is the completed thing, kind of. I'm not going to quite use these colors, but that's kind of what I'm going for. And this is just a hot air balloon that I got off of the internet. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this larger so I can work on it more easily. And obviously I'll need to trace it because look, there's a white square behind it, so it won't cut out other than cutting around that white square. So in order to make this an SVG, all we have to do is come over to the trace tool over here, select the trace area button or area, and then I'm going to come over here and just draw a box around the trace area. Now let's suppose I draw my box and I let go right there, and I'm like, oh no, that didn't even get the whole thing. Not to worry, notice these little squares around here. You can drag those out so that you'll get the whole thing, and it'll trace it again. So that's a perfect looking trace. So all I'm going to do is say trace over here. I don't really need to change the threshold up here or anything. So I'm going to click on trace, which means I can now get rid of this thing that I no longer need. I think I'll just hide it over there just in case. And I'll come back over here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to come up here and I'm going to color this whole thing a color that I know I'm not going to be using, a very light color, so I can see it. And then I'm going to come up here again to Object and Release Compound Path. That makes a bunch of little squares all around, which is exactly what I want. So let's see, now what shall I do? I don't think I want these little tiny lines to go down there. I think I'll get rid of this and this, maybe. Move them off to the side, not delete anything yet. And I really, let's see, how does that look? Okay, I'm liking that. I'll get rid of this thing. I know I don't need it, so I'll put it over to the side. So this is really what I want, just this top part of the balloon, maybe this part right here, and probably just the basket. So let me get rid of these other little pieces here, and I'll just delete those. So these are the 3 pieces that I want, and that's perfect. I might want to move the basket in a little bit more because, you know, it was hanging way down here. So I might want to move it in, skinny it in a little bit so it looks a little bit more like it fits there. And you can adjust that however you'd like. But what I'm doing was, and somebody suggested this in my Facebook group when I said, whatever can I put on this little bag that I want to take with me into the airport? And someone suggested, well, are you familiar with that Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You'll Go? Well, this is going to be based on that book. So this is going to be easy peasy. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and group all of this stuff back again temporarily. And the next thing I'm going to do is, let's see, I said that bag will be about 5 inches by 5 inches. So I'm just going to get a circle over here. And I'm going to hold down my shift key and draw a circle. And I'm going to change its color so I can see it a little bit more clearly right now. I made it the same exact color. That's funny. But right now it's 9 inches by 9 inches. And I said I'd like it to be about 5 inches by 5 inches because that's about how much room I have to work with. So I came up here and I locked this lock, and which means when I change one of these, either the width or the height, they're going to change proportionately. And I usually mess with the width first. I'm going to change that to a 5 and hit enter, and you'll notice that that automatically changed the height. So that's all the bigger that my whole design can be. So that means I certainly have to squish this down quite a bit to get it to fit in there. Let me make this circle a different color so we can see it a little better. Oh, how about a pinky? Okay. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on it and say send to the back so I can see how this is going to be. All right. So now you can see I can probably make my hot air balloon quite a bit bigger because I have a lot more space yet to work with. That's probably about as big as I'd like it to be. Whoops, I didn't mean to change that. I accidentally changed the circle, so I'm going to hit Control and Z on my keyboard to put that back because I wanted to grab the hot air balloon and make it just a little tiny bit smaller. Perfect. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I want to put the text around it, and I want the text to fit right around, let's see, should I have it on the bottom or the top? You know, I just thought about this and I thought, you know, maybe I'd rather it be on the top. On my sample here, I had it, whoopsie, let me Control Z. I thought I had that grouped. Let me group that, right click and group. On the sample, I had it underneath. You know, I still think I like it underneath. And so I'm going to ungroup or move the hot air balloon back up. And now I'm going to start putting my text on here. Now the text that I used for this one was impact. And I'm not sure if I love that well or not, but I'll try it again just to see. So I'm going to come over here to the very left where the text tool is and grab that. And I'm going to start typing in, oh, the places you'll go, exclamation mark. Now notice that went down on the next line, the word go, and I don't want it to be like that. So all I have to do is come over here and stretch this little bar over, and it'll allow the word go to go up on the same line. Right now the color of this font is white. I'm going to highlight it all, or it's actually transparent. I'm going to highlight it all and make it black for right now. And I think I'm going to change it to a different font. So it could be anything, but I'm trying to think of a font that would be a little bit beefy, a little bit thick, so that it will have a lot of adhesive on the back of it to adhere to my little bag, especially since it's going to get a lot of wear and tear. So I'm going to come over here to the text style panel, click on that to open it, and these are all the different texts that we could use. I did get one recently, androgyny, that could be cute. Again, I'd have to move this out a little bit. That one could be really nice. And maybe I like that even better. But you know what I'd want to do first with this one? Double click on it to get the text editing function back again and change the character spacing. Whoa, not that much, just a little bit. Still too much. Just a little bit. All right, maybe like that. And I'd have to make it a lot smaller to make it fit up here. So I'm going to try that to see if I'm going to like that. You'll notice that there's a little bit of a redness around this. That just shows you where the cut lines are. If that bothers you, you can come up here in the upper left-hand corner. This is the line style. This is the fill color, and this is the line color. I can change the line color to transparent, and then that will no longer be seen. I'm a little bit nervous about these little tiny skinny lines here, like in the G. So I'm thinking I'm going to change that text or that font anyway. So let's see, what shall we make it instead? That's kind of a fun font. And of course, I'd want to change the spacing of the characters for that a little bit. Whoa. Oh, the places you'll go. That one's kind of fun, I think. What do you think? Let's look back at the other one if we can for a minute. Here's this one. I think this is a lot more fun. I think I'll leave it like that. So, oh, the places you'll go. So I'm going to highlight it. I don't think I can make it bold. No, that's not an option there. So I'm going to leave it as it is. And what I'll need to do now is double click on it and move this in. And when I double click on it, look what happens. It goes back to the editable text. And you know that because there's a green box around it. There's this little bar. And there's this four-headed arrow, which means as soon as I bring that up here and pop it to this, it goes right on top of that or around anything, actually. Look at it. So it can go right like that if I like it. Let's see. Do I like that? Well, let's see. Let's scroll in a little bit closer and see what we think. Do you like that? Can't decide. Whoops, I can't get it off of there until I get it back to editable text. There we go. Now I can get it off. By the way, this little thing that looks like a zipper right here, I can move this in and out depending on how much room I have. And I won't be leaving that circle there, so this would be fine like this. I kind of like it when it's that large. I think I'll leave it like that. So now the only thing I have to do is to get this text available again and come up here to Object, Make a Compound Path. Because right now if I try to move this off, every time I move it off, it's going to go back to straight text. Once I make it a compound path, it will stay rounded like that, and I can remove that circle that I no longer need. So now let me show you. See, I can move that circle out of there, and that's perfect the way that is. Now the other thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be changing the colors of this. So I'm going to ungroup it. And honestly, I actually have a few colors of glitter over here that I've put in my pattern area. So if we scroll all the way down here, you'll notice I have the word glitter, and I've shown how to do that in some of my classes. But I'm going to have pink glitter, and I think these two will be purple glitter, and maybe these two. Whoops, I need to click on the V on my keyboard to get those node editing off of there. Hold down my shift and get the other one and maybe make that red. I haven't decided for sure what colors. And this will probably be pink and purple. Like I said, I haven't decided yet. That's still to be determined. So the thing I wanted to show you, and I think which is kind of fun, is if we scroll back out like this, and here's that bag. Let's move these out of the way. Here's my bag that I took a picture of. And I did crop it down some, but obviously not enough. So what I need to do is I need to bring this bag up here, right here. See the 0 right here, Mark? And remember we said that the bag was about 5 inches wide? Wait, let's move him out for a minute. Let's group all this together first. So I can move this down. And let's bring that bag back up here again. I'm going to start it at the 0 mark, not at the end of my picture, but the side of the bag at the 0 mark, and I said it was about, oh, did I measure the actual bag? I don't think I ever measured the actual bag. So the actual bag is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches wide. So I just measured for you the amount of space I thought I had for my design. But the actual bag is 6 inches wide, so I need to stretch it over there. So it's starting at the 0 mark, and it's going over to the 6-inch mark, right? You see that? Starting at 0 and going over to 6 about. Okay, that's how wide it is. Now let me measure for you how long it is, because I didn't do that before either. So I'm using my measuring tape again, and it's about 9 inches long. So I can just stretch it down while I look at these marks right here on the left-hand side till it gets to be about 9 inches. Okay, that's pretty close right there. So I could click on this and change it if I wanted to, but it's pretty close. So now why I wanted this in here was so I could see, well, am I going to like this on here? Well, yeah, I think that's going to be super cute on there. Really, really cute. The only thing is I can't make my text black because it won't show up. So I'm going to have to go ahead and ungroup this. And I'm going to grab my text and I'll make it white. And then I'll group this all back together. And I'll bring it over here. And there you can see exactly how it's going to look when it's done. And what a super cute bag that's going to be for $1.29, plus some scraps of some glitter and some HTV. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and make this. Let me delete these things. Well, no, let's just put this. I'll move the bag out of the way. And can't really see the text anymore, but we know it's there. So now if I go over here and go to send, for those of you that have the Cameo machine, I'm going to click on this and we're going to cut because we want to cut out everything, right? And I'm going to go to fill, and oh my gosh, look at all these colors over here. You know why that is, right? Because of all the extra stuff I had off of my mat. So I'm going to uncheck everything and then just go in here and check the ones I think I need to use. And to me, sometimes that is easier to just go back to design and scroll over here and see all these colors here. That's what's giving me headaches. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll just grab this one, right click and say copy. Oh, y'all watch this. This is cool that we can do this. I'll open up a whole new window and just paste that in here. So that's the only thing I have now. So now I can go to send, and if I go to fill, so I'm going to maybe change these back to their colors. So that's going to be like reddish, kind of. This is going to be, hold my V down, and that's going to be pink. And this, hold down my shift, get that and that. Those are all going to be purple. Okay, now let's go, excuse me, to send. And then when I'm in the fill, we can see what's happening here. We have the purple cutting, the pink, the red, and the white, which is the words, the text. So right now it's set on cardstock plain. Of course, I'll want to put it on heat transfer glitter for all of these. So I'm just going through changing all of these to heat transfer glitter, except for the last one that's going to be heat transfer smooth. Okay. And I'm not using this tool. I'm using the ratchet blade, so I'll be changing my settings over there on my blade. And I think that's pretty much it. Other than right now, before I do anything else, I like to go back to the design area and grab everything and right click and say flip horizontally so that my text is already the way it should be. And you notice I dragged it over here so I could peek and see. So now I'm ready to go. I'll go to send and it's ready to roll. I'll go send it to my machine and I'll be back. Okay, here's the finished bag, and I'll tell you what, from a bag that costs $1.29 to this, you just can't beat it. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm almost to 20,000 subscribers, and I'd love to get there by sometime this month. Also, share this with your friends, share it across the social media. Be sure to check out my links down below because I have links for a lot of products that I like. In addition, I have links for some classes that I have for free and some free SVGs that you can grab over on my website. So again, thanks for joining me, you guys. See you again soon. Bye-bye.